أحييكم وأرحب بكم في برنامجكم الحوار الذي نقدمه في كل أسبوع، وهو الحل بين يديك. منك وإليك نقدم هذا الحوار، ويسعدنا مشاركتكم الدائمة والتواصل معنا، لأن هذا البرنامج يخصكم. عزيزي المشاهد، في هذه الحلقة يسعدنا أن نتابع هذا التقرير حول الانحباس الحراري الذي نتج عن التلوث البيئي، ويسعدنا أن نتابع هذا التقرير سوياً.
The process of industrialization brings economic growth and prosperity to the society. But it also brings problems that have to be solved urgently. The chemical industry has little interest in reducing the volumes of the products they sell, because this directly reduces their revenues. Therefore, a new approach is required. Based on the experience of its cleaner production program, Unido plays a leading role in the further development of a new business model, chemical leasing. With chemical leasing, the focus is no longer on the sale of chemical products in terms of volume or weight. It shifts from the current practice of selling products to selling services with environmentally and economically sound benefits. The supplier of chemicals sells the function that the chemical product performs and takes over responsibility for the use of the chemical, its recycling and its treatment and disposal. This model directs the economic interests of all partners towards process optimization and sustainable chemical management. This leads to risk reduction for humans and environment and creates an economic win-win situation for both supplier and user. As a pilot project on chemical leasing in Austria showed successful results, Unido decided to start other projects in Egypt, Mexico, and Russia, with the support of the Austrian government. Unido promotes the model of chemical leasing via the national cleaner production centres in the respective countries.
How do we get access to the enterprises? Well, first of all, we contact companies that already cooperate with us on cleaner production projects and look for possibilities to implement chemical leasing. Another approach is to get information from service companies, as well as research and development organizations about enterprises suitable for chemical leasing projects. Then, we contact the management of these enterprises and visit them to determine their real potential and prospects for the implementation of chemical leasing.
One good example of successful implementation of the chemical leasing concept can be found in Egypt. The supplier developed a new powder for electrostatic powder coating. This product is more efficient and therefore reduces the amount of losses. Applying the chemical leasing model, a new basis of payment was agreed upon.
The basis of payment before the chemical leasing was per kilogram of coating powder. Under the chemical leasing, the payment will be per square meter of coating final product.
The waste goes back to the supplier and is reused in the production line as raw material. The supplier achieved a reduction of powder loss from 13 to 4% and launched an efficient system for recycling. The annual savings were $60,000. But also, the supplier benefits in different ways. Chemical leasing leads to long-term partnerships and job creation. Mexico is also implementing pilot projects of chemical leasing.
I had two important reasons to participate in this project. The first one was to gain control over one of my raw materials, nickel and its brightness. And the other one was to reduce production costs to be more competitive in the market.
As measured by the Cleaner Production Centre, during the monitoring of the operation, the nickel used in the production process was reduced by 22%. This lowered the production cost significantly and brought economical benefits for both business partners. And it also had positive side effects for the environment and the safety of the workers. Chemical leasing fosters continuous improvement and long-term partnerships among companies, in which the cleaner production centres have an important monitoring and quality assurance role. It is an important tool for sustainable industrial development and is promoted through Unido's worldwide cleaner production programme.
وبعد أن تابعنا هذا التقرير ووجدنا مدى خطورة التلوث على البيئة ومما ينتج عنه زيادة في الارتفاع لدرجة الحرارة، في الحقيقة نجد أمامنا أنه العالم اتجه منذ أوائل هذا القرن إلى وضع العديد من الاتفاقيات والمعاهدات الدولية والبروتوكولات بهدف حشد الجهود الدولية لمعالجة القضايا ذات العلاقة بالبيئة. وقد بلغ عدد تلك الاتفاقيات نحو 152 اتفاقية. وبدأت هذه الاتفاقيات عام 1921 إلى 1991، وتبع ذلك العديد من الاتفاقيات الدولية، منها مثلا في عام 1923 الاتفاقية الدولية لمنع تلوث البحار بالنفط، وكذلك الاتفاقية المتعلقة بحظر تجارة الأسلحة النووية الموقع عليها في موسكو عام 1963، وكذلك المعاهدات التي لحقت ذلك التي اعتمدت في بون مثلا عام 1979 المتعلقة بحفظ أنواع الحيوانات البرية، واتفاقية الأمم المتحدة لقانون البحار، ووقعت كذلك في فيينا عام 1985 اتفاقية حماية طبقة الأوزون، واعتمدت في عام 1973 سايتس الخاصة بالإتجار الدولي في أنواع الحيوانات البرية المهددة بالانقراض. في الحقيقة يسعدنا في هذا اللقاء أن نلتقي بالسيد سي أحمد مناد، المدير المسؤول للاتفاقيات الدولية لحماية البيئة بالأمم المتحدة، ونرحب بسعادتكم. احنا في الحقيقة يعني طال الوقت، وقد يكون يعني بعد أحداث كثيرة حصلت على الكرة الأرضية من كوارث بسبب الانحباس الحراري، وقد تعرضنا إلى الكم الهائل لهذه الاتفاقيات منذ عام 1921. مدى جدية هذه الاتفاقيات ومدى محاولة تطبيقها على أرض الواقع؟
First of all, let me thank you very much for this opportunity to give to Unido to talk about its contribution to protect the planet through assisting mainly developing countries in complying with their obligations vis-à-vis the protocols and convention. Yes, you have been mentioning a lot of these legal protocols and instruments, which definitely is posing a threat to our planet. And more for the last, I would say, 10 to 15 years, we are aware of the danger that we are going into if we do not react as a international community. And Unido, being a specialized agency dealing with industrial development, the ultimate objective now of Unido is to ensure a sustainable industrial development through its contribution and many of the conventions and protocols, namely, I would say, the Montreal Protocol for the protection of the ozone layer, the Kyoto Protocol for to tackle the issue of climate change, and also the Stockholm Convention on dealing with the persistent organic pollutants. Definitely it has a resounding impact on the way industry is being developed, on the way industry is producing. And the idea here is to promote a very, let's say, well-accepted concept, which is a clean technology concept. And this is the main objective of Unido, is to ensure that whatever change in technology is required to keep away from, for example, substances that deplete the ozone layer, from the consumption of fossil fuels, for the use of persistent organic pollutants, to ensure that all the new technologies we are proposing, we are promoting, are clean and safe technologies. Moreover, talking about the concept of transfer of technology, to ensure that we are also transferring the most up-to-date technology to developing countries in order to be in line with the concept of clean technology around the world, especially in industrialized countries.
يعني هذه هي إرادتكم، ولكن الدول المصدرة لهذه التكنولوجيا هل حقيقة هي على استعداد لنقل تكنولوجيا حديثة يعني up to date?
Well, I have to say that right now the international community, and mainly I would say the donor community, is very keen in transferring most up-to-date technologies, because there is a growing concern that if we do not ensure that these technologies are being also transferred to the developing world, the whole planet will suffer. So it's a shared responsibility. This is very well accepted now. And I must say that there has been a lot of efforts from the donor community to provide, again, the most up-to-date technologies with a very cost-effective way. And indeed, of course, we as a specialized agency of the United Nations, we have to make sure that this is going to happen. It is not possible for us to accept obsolete technologies that in, say, 5 or 10 years will again show that there is a problem and that you have to tackle. Our ultimate objective, again, is to ensure a sustainable industrial development and then a sustainable transfer of technology, which would then ensure all those countries to be also up to date.
هل حضرتك تعتقد أنه آخر اتفاقية هي اتفاقية كيوتو تعد حقا اتفاقية مهمة؟ ويعني كيف يرى المجتمع الدولي موقف الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية من هذه المعاهدة الأخيرة؟
Well, definitely the Kyoto Protocol is part of the answer to climate change. It's not the answer by itself. It is a beginning in trying to find ways and means to tackle the issue of climate change. And of course, everybody was looking at the position of the United States. Unfortunately, for the time being, we have not yet seen the United States going into the direction of ratifying the Kyoto Protocol. But one has to say that in many states in the US, there is already a lot of solutions being brought forward, which make us very hopeful that the United States will indeed have its share in reducing the amount of greenhouse gases that are emitted in the atmosphere. You have to know that the United States is today responsible of almost 25% of the greenhouse gas emissions in the atmosphere. So it is very important for the whole world that the United States enters into this process.
ولكن ما هي الأسباب الحقيقية في كون الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية لا ترغب في التوقيع على هذه الاتفاقية؟
Well, to be honest with you, it is not up to me to make an analysis of the reasons why United States has not yet ratified the Kyoto Protocol. But of course, one could think of many reasons. And for example, lobbies in the U.S. for oil, for energy, etc. There must be some kind of very strong forces in the United States that is still holding up the United States in not entering the Kyoto Protocol process. But I believe that things are changing in the United States. And as I said, there are many states that have already gone beyond, I would say, certain obligations of the Kyoto Protocol. And this is very, very heartening, I would say.
كثيرا ما سمعنا عن بروتوكول ستوكهولم، بروتوكول مونتريال. هل ممكن تفيدنا عن فحوى هذه الاتفاقيات الدولية؟
Well, to start with the Montreal Protocol to protect the ozone layer from ozone-depleting substances, it has started some, as you mentioned, already in Vienna in 1985 when there was a convention, a goodwill from the whole community to protect the ozone layer. But that was in itself not enough. So there was a need to put in place a protocol with obligations, with benchmarks, with phase-out schedules. This is what happened. And frankly speaking, when this was adopted and approved in Montreal in 1987, very few people were, very much optimistic that this is going to work. But it did work, indeed. And one of the reasons, I would say, not only the goodwill of the let's say the industrialized countries, but also the goodwill from the developing countries, helped in that way by instituting a multilateral fund to assist countries, developing countries, financially and technically in dealing with their obligations vis-à-vis the protocol. And I think this was the main, let's say, thing that made the whole protocol as today very successful. And I would like to say here that Unido was very much in the forefront in contributing again in assisting developing countries, meeting their obligations vis-à-vis the protocol. And I must say that Unido has contributed for more than 1/3 of the total of ozone-depleting substances that has been phased so far in developing countries. And I think this is a major achievement. Today, we are, of course, seeing the good results. The latest scientific report that we have received from the world community, scientific community, is that the ozone layer is recovering step by step. It will take some time, but we are going into the right direction. And again, the Montreal Protocol is a resounding success. And it is, again, thanks to the goodwill of all countries that agreed to contribute and to phase out ozone-depleting substances. And one has to also say that technology also had a lot in tackling the issue, because technology was there at the time when we needed to have alternative technologies. And this was, again, one of the major, I would say, success of the protocol. The technologies were available to replace ozone-depleting substances. And I must say that Unido, again, as a specialized agency, was able to promote new, most up-to-date CFC or ozone-depleting substances-free technologies.
ما هو دور الأمم المتحدة ما إذا كان إحدى الدول تعدت على هذه الاتفاقيات التي تم التوقيع عليها سواء في مونتريال أو ستوكهولم، ونحن نرى يعني الشاهد على ذلك في أوروبا ما زال هناك يعني إنتاج كبير من ثاني أكسيد الكربون والمخلفات الصناعية اللي هي تزيد من الانحباس الحراري، يعني بما ترتب عليه الكثير من الكوارث.
Well, this is a very good question, because when we talk about Montreal Protocol, for example, a so-called implementation committee was established to look into the achievements of all countries in the world, how much they have phased out, whether they are in compliance or in non-compliance. So it has shown that globally the world community is in compliance. Of course, there are few shortcomings here and there, a few countries that are in non-compliance. which then allows the world community again to provide more assistance to those countries in order to make sure that they are in compliance. We have yet to see that same, let's say, procedure to be put in place. For example, for the Stockholm Convention, it's in good progress. The issue of having an implementation committee has been discussed last year, and it will be again discussed in Dakar in May this year. Kyoto Protocol, as you know, it's still something that needs to be enforced. It's still something that a lot of things have to be discussed. Yet again, we are going into the right direction. But I believe that there is a lot to do under Kyoto Protocol.
في نهاية لقائنا دائما بنسعى ونطلب من الضيف أن يقول لنا بعض اقتراحات حلول لمواجهة هذا الكم الهائل من المشاكل والكوارث الناتجة للانحباس الحراري والتلوث البيئي والكوارث الحادثة. ما هي اقتراحاتكم أو اقتراحات حلول من الممكن المجتمع الدولي يستطيع أن يواجه هذه المشكلة الكبرى مستقبلا؟
Well, I first believe that right now the international community is